Welcome. It's lovely to see you here again. This is my take two because I just had some friends knock on the door and ask if they can park their car in my driveway and I just said, of course you can. And I've got no idea what they're doing or where they're going, but their car's parked in my driveway and that is perfectly fine. So the elephant in the room, why am I doing this? Why have I resigned from my job that I love and enjoy and I'm good at to sit in my house for the next 9 months and offer people cups of tea and a safe, calm, quiet place to talk about their thoughts, their feelings, their beliefs, their values. The elephant in the room is that our world has completely changed in the last 2.5 years. Nothing is the same. Constant change is stressful. And I've got 4 nephews. I've got 2 that have taken the treatment and 2 that haven't. And they've all had the illness. They're all alive. They're all healthy. And when I hear different versions of the future for those 4 boys, I don't consent to any of it. I don't consent to those that have had the treatment to be taken off the earth plane or enslaved on the earth plane. I don't consent to that. And for the 2 that haven't taken the treatment, I don't consent to them being ostracized from society or taken off the earth plane because they didn't take the treatment. For me, I've got 2 each way, and I don't like either of the races that are going on. So I'm choosing something different. My gut is telling me that things are not right. And I don't like the yucky feeling things not being right has been inside of me my almost entire life. And I don't like that yucky in my friends and family and community. You know, then the ripples of where that gets echoed back at me and my body, what's said in the media and social media and whispered chats and driveways when you feel you can be honest. I don't like that yucky feeling inside of me, and I don't like it around me, and I do not consent to that yucky feeling being the new normal. One of the friends who's dropped in the last 2 days shared with me that he suffers from anxious thoughts and feelings. And he knows it's okay to say you're not okay, and he's shared his not okayness with a few men, and they've said, thank you for sharing, I'm the same. And when we had our cup of coffee, well, I was having my mushroom tea for my gut and he was having a Steinlager, I believe. I said, and what happened next? What support did you get? And there was no answer. It's normalized. Being okay is not okay, and that I don't consent to that. So we had a chat about the polyvagal nerve and the exercises to regulate yourself. There's no point trying to heal until you're stabilized and regulated. The ambulance officer does not try and stitch you back together on the side of the motorway or at the bottom of the cliff. They stabilize you and get you in a state ready for healing. So my question today is I drive around my neighbourhood, not affluent, not, West Auckland. And I see the neighbourhood of my childhood being destroyed at a rate faster than it has ever been, as I've seen it destroyed over the last 4 or 5 decades. Homes are being pulled down and 4 or 5 townhouses go up. And when I drive past, that makes me feel yucky inside. My gut feeling just knows it's wrong. And some of the people who have visited in the last few days have been our neighbours. One neighbour in particular there's been conflict and estrangement, but recent weather events have flooded her home. The home she has lived in longer than we've lived here, which is 10 years. She's lived there longer than that. She's experienced lots and lots of weather, as we have. And, I've had a leaky roof that a massive storm leaked out my house and the roof needed to be repaired. So it's not like these are one-off weather events. Her house has never, ever flooded, and yet it did. So my question for the tarot today is the intensification of housing going on in all of our Auckland, especially west, south, poorer suburbs, let's be honest, directly causing flooding to the homes of my friends, neighbours and community? So that's the tarot read we're going to do today. And I previously shuffled these cards. And I had an experience yesterday where, my nephew came over and the door blew the whiteboard on my 4 elements over here. And it was a blessing. The candle didn't fall over, but the glass of water did. And so these tarot cards have got wet. And my gut was telling me I need to use these, the Rider-Waite. And so thank you for that visit and confirming my gut. So this is the community. This is the people asking this question. Is my community, my neighbours, the people being flooded, is the intensification of housing directly causing this flooding in their homes? That is the situation regarding the question being answered. This is the past. This is what sits between us, and this is the outcome. And some advice. Okay, so yes, my sister said to me her friend's house flooded because there's not enough grass, there's too much concrete now, and her thought is 100% correct. And with regard to this situation of our friends and our families' houses flooding, yes, this is the situation all around us. We're seeing it in our suburb. Houses get sold, ugly construction fences go up, and then before you know it, there's road cones and your road shut off and cranes and hundreds and hundreds of people swarming on these tiny little 1/4 acre sections to put on 5 or 6, 10, 12, 900 homes. And when I drive past that, my gut hurts. That feels wrong. So the past, what led to this situation, is the Knight of Wands. Someone had an idea and just went for it. They didn't think it through. They didn't do the correct assessments. But brainstorming is incredibly important. Throw everything into the mix and then look at it and interrogate it from 900 different perspectives before you move forward, especially with something as significant as how do we house us. So what's the situation as it exists? What's going on between these people thinking that all of this intensification is what's causing their homes to flood and them getting expensive bills? My neighbour got a quote, $80,000 as a young, like, she's solo. She doesn't have a partner there with her 2 children. $80,000 is beyond her. And it's not in her budget because for the last 10, 15, 20 years, we have had extreme weather in this particular part of West Auckland by the Waitakere Ranges, and her home has never ever flooded before. So this energy, this thing, this intensification, this housing, it's doing it all by itself. It's almost unstoppable at the moment. The outcome, and I've just had my sister arrive, so that will be the almost end of our reading. The outcome is happier communities, 10 of Pentacles, the happy ever after. We do need to stop what is going on, and we do need to create different systems and structures and ways of working. That's what this is saying. New ideas, let them come from potentially from heaven and our spirit guides and helpers. The advice is people lie in bed at night worrying. There's potentially four things that we're worrying about with regard to this situation. 3 of them are true and 1 of them is not true. So for me, I choose to believe that this intensification of housing that's going on, that's flooding my friends and neighbours, is not inevitable. I do not consent to this chariot continuing to bowl down the path that it has been set off on with potentially the best and highest of intent, but yet not thinking through all possible outcomes and options. So no, I do not consent to mine or my friends or my families, my community's homes being flooded due to intensification of housing. I consent to everyone having a safe, warm, healthy home. I consent to that. I do not consent to an attempt to deliver that, taking those same safe, warm, healthy, dry homes from my existing community. So I'll just leave that there and go have a cup of tea with my sister and my beautiful, beautiful baby nephew.